Hey everybody! Okay, so I was asked to do a tutorial on my Galaxy tumbler. This is the beginning of one right here. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna use a couple of different colors. I'm gonna use a teal instead of a pink today. So what we're gonna need is you'll need your alcohol inks. I like Tim Holtz Pearls alcohol inks for these. They just give it a little bit of a different shade. I'm going to use Tranquil and Villainous and Intrigue today. These are my three colors. And then I'm also going to use this Patina alcohol ink right here. I like this black better than the Tim Holtz alcohol ink black. The Tim Holtz alcohol ink black one tends to kind of change colors on me whenever I go to seal it. It doesn't stay black. This one does. So that's what I'm going to use today. You'll also need, you can use a dabber like this. I really like the way this works for this, but I'm out of my refills. So we are going to use makeup sponges today. Okay. I'm also using Steel Magnolia True 22 cup today instead of a plump because this is probably going to be for me, and I really like the way these 22s are. So let's get started. I might have to tilt this down a little bit. That way y'all can see what I'm doing. Okay. We're going to start with this teal, I think. So the cool thing about alcohol inks is they're really easy to, it's really easy to fix them if you end up not liking it. You can just layer the colors on and, it'll take on the darker color that you use. And I use a lot at a time. Let's see. Can y'all see that? So you can do these little nebulas as big or as small as you like. I tend to like to have one big one that just kind of swirls around my cup. And then you're just dabbing it on. The cool thing about that dabber that I showed you is that it's a circle. So as you can see, as I'm going, you can kind of see the lines where my makeup sponge is straight and it's straight. The daubers don't do that. With these makeup sponges, you kind of have to get a little bit more artsy with it to make sure that it is not a squared off edge. And I use a lot of alcohol ink at a time. That'll give you that really cool blotty effect. And you'll start to see it more whenever I go back in a little bit to start layering. And there is really no rhyme or reason to this. It is just kind of you make whatever kind of shape that you want to make. Okay. That's all the blue I'm going to do for now. Let me get onto the bottom of this. And like I said, we'll go back over and kind of layer all the colors again after we start. I think I'm going to use this Intrigue next. These pearl alcohol inks, you really have to make sure to shake up because that pearlescent stuff likes to settle on the bottom. Oh yeah, this is going to be pretty. So after I get all these colors on, like I said, I'll probably go back in with that teal again and blend these colors really nicely together. So we start with the lightest color and then we move to the black. The reason is because that way, no matter how big this nebula gets, you can always get that black in there and blend it in and make it a little bit smaller if you need to. Sorry, I keep angling that up. Oops. Yeah, that's right. I love you too, buddy.
Mama? I'm wondering if I could go to Green and Pappy's.
Maybe later. I'll have to excuse my son.
What is it?
Means what?
That thing that you're holding in your hand.
This? That's a makeup sponge. Okay, so there's our pinkish color, and then I'm gonna also go out here with this purple just barely around the edge. That way when we go in and blend our black, we have a little bit more color in there. So y'all can see those right there. That happens whenever you have to have enough on your dabber to make it spread like that. And that blue teal in there, it's going to get that way as soon as we go back in there with that next layer of blue. And like I said, when we add that black, it'll shrink up this nebula just a little bit, just enough to make it look perfect. Okay, go back in with this blue. All right, here comes the magic. Y'all see that pearl? It's so pretty. And when I say I use a lot of this ink to do this, I use a lot. Like, I'm literally squirting it on here. I know it might seem a little wasteful, but I mean, the effect that it has is just super pretty. Okay, I'm gonna start with our black now. That way y'all can see this come together. Let's start in a bigger area. So before I started this, I did prep my cup. I sanded it and then rubbed it down with alcohol, and then I spray painted it white. Forgot to say that at the beginning. Did make this one kind of big. But that's the awesome thing, as I said, about alcohol inks. You can go in and kind of layer over everything and get it exactly how you like it. So I can even take some of that purple and pink and make this inside of this nebula a little bit smaller. But there's no rhyme or reason to this. You're basically just kind of dabbing it on, and wherever you think that it needs to come in, then you make it go in. See, we're starting to kind of take shape here. So now what we'll do, now that I have this black in here, get the bottom done real quick. There we go. Now, what I'll do is I'm going to take some of this purple, and then I'm going to kind of blend into this black here. So on this, you'll want to be kind of careful. You'll want to try to keep, whichever side you start with, you'll want to try to keep that always towards the black. Otherwise, you're going to get a little too much blending, and then your black will get too far in. And that's okay a little bit. We just don't want it a whole lot. You see that? Now we're getting our little cell action going on here. Which is exactly what we were wanting. So you see how my sponge, it's got the black on the one side. Sorry, I keep angling that upward. We're also going to take a little bit more of this pink here and go into our blue a little bit more. I know a lot of people make these nebulas smaller. They have more than one. And that's fine. I mean, it's really just your personal preference on how you like these cups. Take our blue here. I'm probably going to fill in the black on this side just a little bit more too. And if you want the inside a little bit lighter, you can always add some white in there as well. A little bit of black. So there's the gist of it. It really takes on the life that you saw in that other one once you add the epoxy. So whenever I do the epoxy, stand up now. I add a glitter to it. You can add whatever kind of glitter that you want. This is what I used for the last one. It's from Painted Valley Designs, and it's just an iridescent additive is what it's called, in soles. And then I also have a glitter called Stargasm from Glitter Glams that I use to put just a few little stars here and there on it. But this stuff is what really gives it that galaxy effect with the faraway stars and stuff like that. So if y'all have any questions, just give a holler. But that's pretty much it. So I hope y'all enjoy. Thanks.